Just because you're hurt, just because you were broken, doesn't mean that you're out for the count. You can get back up, and that's what these games are showing the world.
As long as you know what your passion is, don't let anything stop you from pursuing it. Leave everything out there.
If you have a positive mindset and you tell yourself, I can do this, I can accomplish it, it's gonna happen. It's possible.
12 warriors, 3 rounds of intense competition, $240,000 at stake. Only one takes home the title of champion. We'll find out who, as these American heroes, all U.S. military veterans, take it to the limit. Hello and welcome to the Triumph Games. I'm John Schripp, and along with Patrick Murphy, Iraq War veteran and co-creator of the games. Patrick, what inspired the Triumph Games?
Well, John, we want to showcase America's best in heart-pounding competition. The wars in Iraq and Afghanistan have been the longest in American history. While there are over 300 million Americans, it's less than 1% that currently serve in the military, which creates a civilian-military drift. But these veterans have shown post-traumatic growth and how to win with character.
And that's why we are honored to present this competition and share the stories of these outstanding military veterans who have risen to the level of athletic, personal, and professional triumph. Let's meet the Terrific 12.
I'm Rico Roman, Staff Sergeant, United States Army Infantry. I think all of us are going to push each other, and I think that's the best part of being on this team.
I am John Lujan. I'm a United States Marine. I strive to do even more just because I don't want to settle for mediocrity.
My name is Sean Johnson. I'm an Air Force airman. I've already engaged the unknown, and I've been triumphant over the unknown. Just gives me more strength and power going forward.
My name is Melissa Caduti. I am retired Air Force. I don't believe in limitations. I would love to see if you could lift what I could lift with your legs. And I'm a disabled athlete. I bet you can't.
My name is Redmond Ramos. I was the Navy corpsman. This isn't 12 injured guys that are competing. These are 12 athletes, and they just happen to be injured.
My name is Ben Harrow. I was an Army captain. So much for the excuses that we make or limitations that we place on ourselves mentally. I still have to get from A to B, whether I have legs or not.
My name is Erin Stewart. I am retired Army. It's so much easier to give up than it is to push forward through all of the hard times. You truly have to fight for it.
My name is Jen Lee. I'm a Staff Sergeant, United States Army retired. Just because you lost a leg, just because you went through something traumatic, doesn't mean that you can't do anything. You still can succeed.
My name is Elizabeth Wassel. I'm a combat medic in the U.S. Army. I always want more, and I always strive to do more. Failure is just an opportunity to get back up and try again.
I'm Staff Sergeant Michael Kotcher. I'm an Army veteran. When you know what your passion is, find a way to continue pursuing it in your life.
I'm Jeff Hopkins. I'm a combat telecommunications specialist. I compete for my son. I want to show him, yeah, Daddy's in a wheelchair, but you can do anything you want in life. It's up to you.
My name is Omar Bermejo. I am a sergeant in the United States Marine Corps. It was ingrained in me in the military. If I say that I'm going to do something, I'm just going to do it and be triumphant at it.
The Terrific 12 were selected from a pool of over 100 participants nominated by organizations such as the International Olympic Committee, the Paralyzed Veterans of America, and Soldiers Strong. To be eligible to apply, each athlete had to have overcome a catastrophic injury and medal in their sport nationally. They include medalists from Sochi, the Invictus Games, Warrior Games, and many other prestigious competitions. Over 3 days, these athletes will be put to the test, physically, mentally, and courageously. Patrick, can you break it down for us?
Sure, John. First, we'll tackle triathlon, which includes cycling, kayaking, and Olympic-style infrared riflery. Round 2 tests mental acuity and strategy skills, where the T12 will face off in a hit video game, Hearthstone. And finally, in round 3, their courage is tested in motorsports, where they take the wheel of Roush high-performance Mustangs at the Wilczek Racing Manor, the nation's most challenging and exclusive private racetrack.
Now, before we get going, here's how the scoring breaks down. 30% for each round, along with 10% for social media based on who's generating the most support and reach on Facebook. Second and third place winners will each get $25,000, and first place will be awarded a grand prize of $100,000. Now that we know the rules, let's get going.
We are in Brooklyn's LaFrac Center at Lakeside in Prospect Park, kicking off day one of the Triumph Games with the triathlon. We're starting with the bike race, 4 times around a 3.3-mile loop for a total of 13.2 agonizing miles. The race is broken up into 3 heats, each with 4 athletes racing for the fastest time. In the first heat, we have Army veterans Michael Kocher and Jen Lee.
Zip it down a little bit more so you can see my chest.
And from the Marine Corps, Omar Bermejo and John Lujan.
Good luck, boys. Have fun.
Good luck, boys. Don't need it. 3, 2, 1.
For me, it's more about pride than anything else. There's a couple people here that cycle full-time. I am a sprinter. So for me, if I could beat at least one of them, I've won. I think one of my best strengths is the heart and love I have for the passion of competition.
But in June of 2008, Michael nearly lost that competitive spirit when he found himself near a rocket strike in Afghanistan.
I ended up with a 6-inch skull fracture in the back of my head, ear-to-ear fracture 24 different places, jaw broken 3 broke ribs, 2 collapsed lungs, severed intestine.
This American hero had a lot to overcome. During his rehabilitation, Michael began running again.
Sports really helped me rebuild my confidence and reestablish my new normal.
And his new normal is pretty extraordinary. Since 2012, Michael has medaled 10 times in the Invictus Games and the Paralympics.
It was about showing somebody, despite the injuries I've overcome, that I can still accomplish other goals.
Currently in second place, John Lujan, and only a few seconds behind him, Jen Lee. Way out front, Marine Omar Bermejo, smoking the competition.
With my training, I feel like I'll be the balanced guy, but my background in shooting and biathlon training, I think I have a little leg up. So let's see what happens.
Every day when I wake up, I must remind myself to smile because I am alive and that I will adapt and I will be successful.
Omar Bermejo had proven himself a leader and reached the rank of Marine Corps Sergeant before his promising career in the Corps was taken away in a motorcycle accident.
I could have died, but I was given another chance.
Omar has gone on to win 2 national championships in cross-country skiing, and last year, he became a Paralympian, invited to compete in the sport of biathlon in Sochi.
I didn't know anything about biathlon, but it was very natural to me. They say, hey, you want to shoot a rifle? I'm like, yes. Do you want to ski at the same time as you shoot a rifle? I'm like, tell me about it.
Omar's motto is simple, just keep moving forward.
The reason I smile all the time is because I am happy. I'm training, I'm alive, I'm here, and I'm enjoying life.
Leading the pack by over a minute, Omar's approaching the transition into the kayak portion of the triathlon. It's important to remember that the clock does not stop, so Omar must hustle to hold on to the lead.
Pushing off into the 800-meter course, Omar's kayak is fitted with highly specialized equipment that allows one arm to paddle on both sides. And as he stares down the kayak course, at the starting line, the second heat is about to begin. From the Army, we have Rico Roman and Aaron Stewart. From the Air Force, Melissa Caduti. And from the Navy, Redmond Ramos.
I think the cycling is probably going to be my weakest event since I've never cycled or never been on a bike as an adult until a couple weeks ago. But everybody has their weaknesses, and honestly, all the other athletes have really helped me. They said hold the brake the entire time, and they said I'm supposed to be at the lowest gear so my feet spin really quick. So I'm pretty sure I got really good advice from the other athletes. I'm really excited about that.
I was the one giving you the advice. Like, well, that was not the advice I gave at all.
10 seconds, guys.
Good luck, guys.
3, 2, 1.
I'm in the heat with
all upright bikes. So I'm really hoping that I dust one of those upright bikes, you know, and just show them that I can go just as fast.
Here we go.
For a bike like this is a kneeler. This is for somebody that may have a lower extremity amputation or just wants to kneel down on a bike. So they'll be kneeling, leaning forward. They use their upper body. And these are also made for the people that are riding them. There's no disadvantage in this right here. Some of these hand cyclists are double as fast as somebody in an upright bike. It's going to be an equal field.
More to come when we return.
At Johnson & Johnson, we believe it's imperative that our veterans and their families have access to the health and wellness support they need when they return to civilian life and the workforce. That's why we're so proud to be the official health and wellness sponsor of the Triumph Games. As the world's largest healthcare company, we have a long history of supporting those who serve and their families. Now, what's inspirational about the Triumph Games is watching these athletes test their physical and mental skills as they prove to themselves and to everyone around them that they're stronger than ever.
Welcome back to the Triumph Games. I'm John Schriffen, and with me is my co-host, Iraq veteran Patrick Murphy.
It's round one, and a terrific 12 are testing their limits in a triathlon. They've been biking, kayaking, and now we're about to see the Olympic-style infrared rifle competition.
Omar Bermejo is first up to shoot way out in front of the first heat. He'll be shooting at an infrared target as many times as it takes to hit 15 bullseyes, which is not easy following an exhaustive physical challenge.
The athletes have been fitted with Zephyr Technologies medical sensors from the Center for Body Computing at the University of Southern California. The devices track heart rate and breathing. Omar is able to slow his breathing from 45 breaths per minute all the way down to 12 in a matter of seconds. This helps him steady the rifle and shoot on target.
First to finish with a time of 51 minutes and 16 seconds, Omar Bermejo is a tough act to follow.
Yeah, number one. Start down biathlon, baby. Military, USMC. Yeah!
Way to go, way to go.
Good job, John. Doing great, bud.
Next up in the first heat, we have John Lujan arriving at the rifle range, with Jen Lee just seconds behind him.
Good job, Jen.
Since his traumatic injury, Marine Corps veteran John Lujan has won 4 national championships and become a member of the U.S. Paralympic Alpine Ski Team. It's amazing considering what he survived.
I don't really see myself as a survivor so much as an adapter. I don't think I've survived anything. I think I've just learned how to manage it my own way and how to overcome obstacles.
This family man, who re-enlisted in the Marines after 9/11, was injured in a vehicle accident in 2003, but pushed off treatment to stay with his fellow Marines in Iraq.
I ruptured 2 discs in my spine. I can't feel below my knees, and I can't lift my right foot up or push my left foot down.
But that didn't stop him from putting the skis back on and making it to the Paralympics in Sochi in 2014, where he was also the opening ceremony flag bearer.
We're part of the Terrific 12 because we're pretty awesome, and we love to show America that no matter what happened to us, we can overcome it.
Rolling into the range, Michael Kocher. So now everyone in the first heat has made it to the final event in the triathlon.
Look, you got bad, look, you got bad.
Dominating the third heat is Ben Harrow.
All right, Jeff, let's go, yeah, baby. Come on, Jeff.
Followed closely by Jeff Hopkins.
Yeah.
Trailing behind, and for good reason, Elizabeth Wassel.
Come on, Nano. Let's do her handle on.
I think it was a good example of adapting and overcoming. On my first lap, I broke my hand cycle. I broke the left arm off. You got a good one?
I'll be ready for you on the next round.
More to come when we return.
1 minute down, 1 minute to go. 1 minute down, 1 minute to go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Burn so good.
We're here at the Johnson & Johnson Human Performance Institute. Can you tell us a little bit about the Institute?
Our mission here is to help individuals and teams perform to the highest level possible, and we're hoping that what we've learned here over nearly 3 decades will apply to the extraordinary challenges that they face and all of us face in our quest to be the best we can be.
The Johnson & Johnson Human Performance Institute has trained elite performers ranging from Olympic gold medalists to hostage rescue teams to CEOs.
Good run, good run, good run.
We have one central theme, which is helping people manage and expand their energy.
The Institute's approach to energy management is grounded in 3 areas: performance psychology, exercise physiology, and nutrition. They stress that reaching a goal is not the end game.
There is what we achieved, and then there is how we achieved it. How we achieved it is character. You want to like the person you're becoming, and then you win, the world wins, and you're more likely to win the contest on top of it.
Yeah, buddy. Woo! Lightweight.
I can say without any hesitation that the Terrific 12 are unlike any that we have ever seen. They have surpassed in all our tests all the groups that have ever trained here, and we have trained some of the very best in the world. It's been an honor to have them here.
2015 Triumph Games on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Johnson & Johnson. Caring for the world, one person at a time.
Come on, Nano. Do her handle off.
On my first lap, I broke my hand cycle. I broke the left arm off.
Yeah, you got
I'll do it one arm. It's fine.
Back on the bike track, Elizabeth Wassel is finding a way to overcome adversity.
So I did it one-handed for the last 3 laps.
Go get him.
Is that why your hand's bruised up like it is, or is
Yes, sir.
But you kept going.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Go ahead, go. Good job, Allie. Go get him.
That fighting through adversity spirit comes naturally to Elizabeth Wassel. She joined the Army just after her 17th birthday. The military was in her blood.
I was fortunate enough to have a father who's a Vietnam veteran, and he never gave up, even though he had very substantial injuries. So I grew up with a mentor showing me that nothing was impossible.
While on assignment in Iraq as a combat medic, Elizabeth suffered bilateral hip injuries. 3 surgeries later, she regained enough mobility to walk. And at 21, she literally dove into a new life passion. She became the first female Paralympian in the U.S. Army World Class Athlete Program.
My strengths are that I'm willing to put in a lot of work to be able to be good at it. My weakness is I started swimming when I was 21, so I'm kind of behind the curve.
But this beginner continues to set records, and though she's always out front, she never forgets to look back.
I hope people see appreciation for the veterans that came before us, because that's exactly what this is. This is many years of their hard work so that we can show our abilities as opposed to our disabilities.
Back at the range, the last 3 competitors in Heat 1 are facing down the infrared rifle leg of the triathlon. Jen Lee is just 1 shot ahead of John Lujan,
2 to go on Jen.
with Michael Kocher struggling to catch up.
Where's the time? 1 to go on John. 1 to go on Jen.
Time.
Done. Jen, done for done.
Nice job. Nice job.
Okay, fellas, you just got done. Tell us what that was.
Wow, it was pretty much you gotta leave it all on the field, you know? From the cycling to the kayaking to the shooting. You know, we've been training for months with this, so definitely let it all out for sure.
Right here. Right here as you say.
Leading the second heat, approaching a kayak race, the Navy's Redmond Ramos.
I wish I could lend you a hand. I only have
Amputee
one.
jokes all day!
Oh!
Yeah, Melissa! Come on, Melissa!
Not far behind him from the Air Force, Melissa Caduti. Slightly edging out Army soldier, Aaron Stewart.
I have a story that is completely different than anyone else's. Unfortunately, it's also the story that never gets told.
After being honorably discharged under the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy, Aaron spent 5 years fighting to get back into the military. He was able to enlist in the Army, but 1 year later, serious back and shoulder injuries put Aaron in a rehab facility. Depression set in.
I attempted suicide, and it was horrible. I was in chronic pain all the time. I was struggling with self-identity. It all just came crashing down in that one moment.
Thankfully, that's when his passion for sports saved the day.
Sports has not only saved my life, but it's changed it for the better.
An avid swimmer, shooter, and cyclist, Aaron has captured multiple gold, silver, and bronze medals. Now retired from the Army, Aaron leads a happy life with a new cause and a sense of freedom.
Being transgender in the military is not allowed. Now that I'm retired, I finally have the chance to be the real me, a he.
Once you say, this is who I am, take it or leave it, you'd be surprised at how many people you thought would leave actually stick by your side and support you. Really just be who you are, get motivated, and know that anything's possible.
Great job, Ben. Great job.
Back on the track with a tremendous lead in the third heat, former Green Beret Ben Harrow.
It's pretty cool to be back in Brooklyn. I was born in Brooklyn Heights, and to be able to come here and compete in the Triumph Games is pretty big. Just to continue doing my part to help show America that, you know, obviously we're all injured veterans, but we're not out of the game by any bit of the imagination.
Ben Harrow was an elite team Special Forces Green Beret. He was awarded 2 Bronze Stars and a Purple Heart. His mission came to an abrupt end 3 years ago in Afghanistan. With one tragic step, he lost both of his legs.
The doctors at the hospital told me I was never going to be able to walk again, and I'd have to spend the rest of my life in a wheelchair.
That's when Ben took control of his own recovery.
I discovered a process called osteodistraction, where doctors will break a bone and stretch it out under pressure. As long as there's equal pressure on either side of the break, the bone will just keep refilling, refilling, refilling.
Through this new technology, Ben gained 6 inches on his femur, giving him the length he needed for a prosthetic leg.
I'm the first amputee to ever even attempt bone lengthening at this magnitude, since I set 2 medical world records for the shortest femur ever lengthened and the most bone ever regenerated. Not only did I get myself up and walking, but there's other guys at the hospital that I introduced the process to. So it's nice that I see results not only myself, but I was able to pass something on to other guys and get them out of the wheelchair.
Way in front in the second heat and heading into the laser rifle event, Redmond Ramos, a former combat medic. He is able to slow his breathing and heart rate in seconds. If he can nail the shooting, he may break into the top 3 and have a chance at the $100,000 grand prize when we return to the Triumph Games.
Here at the final event in the triathlon, Navy Corpsman Redmond Ramos takes his turn on the shooting range.
Index finger. Use your index finger.
Done! And finishes in 4th place so far. Next up to shoot, Melissa Caduti. Following her, Rico Roman. And just behind him, Aaron Stewart.
The other competitors, they're good. And if I'm gonna lose to anyone, I'd like for it to be them. I mean, I'm not gonna lose, but.
As the second heat lines up their sights, Ben Harrow, with a giant lead in the third heat, is finishing the kayak race as Elizabeth Wassel single-handedly wheels her bike over to the lake. And just as she paddles out, Ben Harrow gets into position with the laser rifle and slows his heart rate and breathing to steady his shots.
Nice shot, one more. Done. Good job, Benny.
Next up, Jeff Hopkins approaches the event he fears the most. I spoke with him at the start of the race.
What do you think your strongest event is?
Well, strongest is cycling and then kayaking. Then shooting, I had to ask him, I said, how long can I stay there to hit 15 targets? So I've been in a wheelchair a while, so it's kind of hard to get in that position and not shake. I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me. I don't want you to be I want you to be envious. I want you to be jealous that I've got a great life.
After serving in the Army for 4 years, Jeff Hopkins was in officer training when an accident left him near death and paralyzed from the waist down.
They said you can't walk, but I've got things to prove in life. Let's move on. I was an avid runner before I got hurt, so automatically got into wheelchair races.
He won the bronze in hand cycling in the inaugural Invictus Games and finished the New York City Marathon 4 times. He now uses his life experience to inspire others.
I've been skydiving twice since I've been in a wheelchair. I go kayaking, wheelchair tennis, wheelchair softball. It gives you the confidence that, yes, I can go to college, I can have a family, I can own a 2-story house with a white picket fence. You too can do this. You can't let people hold you back.
Come on, Jeff, like we talked about yesterday.
While Jeff fights through his pain, Elizabeth finishes her strongest event with one of the fastest times. Finishing his weakest event,
Clear eyes, full heart.
Jeff finally completes the triathlon.
Shooting, I knew would be my tough part. Thankfully, I heard Melissa in the background, and without the support, we would be here for a while longer.
At the end of the day, we all have the same goal. And if you see another competitor and they're struggling, you have to be in their corner because we know how to calm each other down. We know the words that somebody needs to hear right then and there. So I got in my little yoga stance and started talking to Jeff from a distance, and he finished, and he did okay.
I heard you the whole time. I appreciate it.
With all 12 competitors off the course, the results are in. In the top 3, Omar Bermejo, Jen Lee, and John Lujan. The physical round is complete, but there are still the strategy and courage rounds coming up. Round 2 of the Triumph Games. We return.
2015 Triumph Games on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Johnson & Johnson. Caring for the world, one person at a time.
Welcome back to the Triumph Games. We have reached our second event, the strategy round, where our athletes are testing their mental acuity in the hit video game from Blizzard Entertainment, Hearthstone. So Patrick, why this game?
Well, Hearthstone is a strategic digital card game that challenges the player's ability to deal with problem solving, something that's a priority in military training.
The athletes are in New York City's historic Times Square, where the gaming is underway. This round is also being broadcast on Twitch, the #1 game viewing platform in the world.
May the best man.
Hearthstone is a turn-based digital card game where participants play as one of the game's 9 heroes, each with their own unique power.
God, I hate the mage so much. I just want to punch you in the face.
They'll be using crystals, weapons, spells, and a whole lot of strategy to deplete their opponent's health points. The day started with a round-robin elimination, and now we are down to 6 of our military veterans in head-to-head battles.
What the heck was that?
The next round saw frontrunner Omar Bermejo knocked out by Redmond Ramos.
I think the match went really well. I think I was blessed with a bunch of good cards, and the opportunity was there.
Michael Kocher took out Jen Lee.
Sorry, man.
Good game. And John Lujan lost to Ben Harrow.
Use the fireball.
Your deck, dude.
Following several rounds of stiff competition, the top 2 spots have fallen to Redmond Ramos and Ben Harrow in one final Army versus Navy match to determine the winner of the strategy round.
In the bag!
Redmond started strong, dealing some punishing attacks and quickly draining Ben's health.
Wow.
More damage. That's all he needs.
With one lucky draw, Ben cleared the board and came back strong.
The flame strike, although it cost him 7 mana.
It was worth the clear.
But it just was not enough to overcome Redmond's initial push.
And he's going for the face. He's making it short.
Wow. Well played.
That's 4 damage.
All right, Red, you were aggressive from the beginning of that game to the end. Tell us what your strategy was going into it.
That's really what it was, is do everything that I had been doing, don't change anything up last minute, and especially with who I was facing, I knew that I had to attack him early and I had to attack him strong and just never let up.
Moving into the top spot and knocking Omar Bermejo into third place, Redmond Ramos. A Navy veteran, he developed his strategy for success, fighting for his country in Afghanistan.
My whole new mentality is success through struggle, to take all of the negative and to turn that into a positive. I think by taking struggle and succeeding through it, you'll be stronger than you ever would have if everything was easy.
And retired Navy Corpsman Redmond Ramos would know.
I stepped on an IED in 2011. My first thought was, thank God I'm alive. I was able to take a selfie with me smiling after the moment to show everybody how fortunate I knew I was. It wasn't just in my physical life. It made me stronger in every way, and it was all because of adaptive sports.
And the change Redmond is most proud of is how his experience has affected his compassion for others.
I think I was fairly selfish before my injury. Once I realized how easy everything could end, it made me want to focus on helping people. I didn't feel this true internal happiness until I started to give. And that honestly did not happen until I was hurt and I saw how many thousands of people went to help me.
So 2 rounds are complete. Remember, 10% of the Triumph Games' overall score comes from social media. Our athletes were awarded points for a total number of likes on their Triumph Games Facebook pages, as well as how many times they posted and the reach they generated. Well, after 2 months, Redmond Ramos and Ben Harrow tied for first place. And now, the Courage Round, where our athletes will compete on America's largest privately owned racetrack, Wilzig Racing Manor. Now, Patrick, what's the significance of that?
Well, John, it's over a mile long with over 100 feet in elevation and 9 turns. That takes courage when you're racing at these high speeds this team will be driving. And courage is one thing these military heroes have plenty of.
Our competitors will be burning rubber in custom-fitted Ford Mustangs provided by Roush Performance.
These cars are unique for the Triumph Games today. We add some styling upgrades. We add performance suspension. And one of the really unique things that we've added to these cars for this event is a hand control. And with this control, they can push forward to brake and pull back to accelerate.
After this event, one of these athletes will be taking home the grand prize of $100,000, while the second and third place winners will each receive $25,000.
I got the need for speed.
Yeah.
Woo!
And then back to the fight.
First behind the wheel, Army man Jeff Hopkins, currently in 11th place overall. At this point, he's racing for redemption.
3, 2, 1, go.
We're seeing Jeff out there. How's he doing?
I'm amazed, to be quite frank with you. He's using hand controls, and that stuff is hard. So to be setting the kind of laps that he's doing, that's pretty spectacular.
On the sidelines, visualizing her upcoming race, we have Melissa Caduti coming into the final event of the Triumph Games.
Earlier today, we witnessed a cautious run by the Army's Elizabeth Wassel.
Do you feel like you went fast enough?
I don't know. I feel like I went fast enough for me.
We saw Marine John Lujan throwing caution to the wind, taking some dangerous turns, and pulling out one of the fastest times on the track so far.
I was pushing the envelope there. I got sideways a couple times.
And heading into his first lap, Rico Roman from Portland, Oregon, holding 7th place and hoping to crack the top 3.
Sometimes I forget that I'm missing a leg, to be honest, and I wonder what people are looking at me for, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm missing a leg, duh.
1 month before Army Staff Sergeant Rico Roman was to return home from his 3rd tour of duty in Iraq, a roadside bomb left him with devastating injuries.
After I looked down and seen my legs, I knew I was out of the fight, and that to me was the toughest part. Worrying about the guys that are still over there when I'm in a bed, can't do nothing about it.
He was awarded the Purple Heart and other medals for acts of valor. He decided right away that his injuries would not define him. Within 1 year of his amputation, Rico joined a competitive cycling team.
That definitely gave me the strength to say, hey, this amputation thing is nothing. Look at these guys with smiles and being happy and continuing to drive forward and have productive lives.
He now competes in wheelchair basketball, wheelchair football, and his favorite, sled hockey. He's won numerous awards, including a gold medal in the Paralympic Winter Games in Sochi. But for Rico, it's not about the medals. It's about the spirit of competition he shares with his fellow athletes.
I think all of us are going to push each other, and I think that's the best part of being on this team.
Coming up to the starting line, the leader of the pack in first place so far, Redmond Ramos. The conclusion of the Triumph Games when we return. Back at the Wilczek racetrack, Redmond Ramos coaches himself to the finish line.
I don't care what my time is. I felt like I was going 1,000,000 miles an hour. And I'm really embarrassed to see these GoPro videos because I decided I was just gonna talk to myself or really yell at myself the entire time. Go ahead and laugh because I think that helped. I think it made me a lot faster and I think it made me confident.
Congratulations, great job.
So much, appreciate it.
Brake zones, remember where they are, your apexes, and track out points. Remember to look ahead. Most importantly, have fun.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hailing from Northwood, Ohio, this Invictus Games gold medalist is living proof that nothing is impossible.
I think we should all live for a purpose greater than ourselves. And the reason we are one of the T12 is not to win for us. It's to inspire someone else to get up. It's to show someone else that we went through it, we know what adversity feels like, you can get up too.
It took a while for this Air Force staff sergeant to develop this winning spirit after a hand-to-hand combat training injury left her unable to use both arms.
I would be a liar if I didn't say I never laid in the bottom of my bathtub and said, if I drown today, will it all stop hurting? And will people realize how bad it sucks some days? I asked for too long why it happened, instead of just saying, it happened, move on with your life. And all of a sudden, I'm part of this wonderful pool of people who have all been through something in their life, but all decide to be something so much greater. They inspired me to prove to myself that I'm worth something again, and that somebody else is gonna know that they're worth something too.
As Melissa leans into the turns, Sean Johnson puts on his game face and gets ready to shred the track.
This is the event that I've been waiting for. I love to drive fast, and now I can do it legally and pull this thing out.
There's a quote that says, if it's good, it's great, and if it's bad, it's experience.
Air Force veteran Frank Sean Johnson has somewhat of an ironic story.
I was a psych specialist. It was my job to speak to some of our troops that had suffered severe injuries.
Little did he know that he needed that same reinforcement when he lost his own leg.
I'll keep hearing myself, you're still alive. You're still alive, you're a soldier, you're a survivor.
And as a survivor, he was ready to step up to any challenge. And then came sports.
I got introduced to rowing, and I loved it. And it just snowballed to the point where I compete in so many different areas. I don't know which one I like the best, but basketball is the best. I have to be honest, yeah.
Sean was a 2013 NWBA All-Star and won 4 gold medals in the National Veteran Wheelchair Games.
Everything that I've accomplished has been because I've had to adapt, and you gotta climb. You gotta climb over some mountains, some hills. I'm built for that.
As Sean cools down, Omar Bermejo prepares to take on the course.
Stay focused, eyes ahead. Your hands will go where your eyes take you.
A strong contender for the top spot. If he can pull out the 3rd fastest time or better, he could be looking at $100 grand, and more importantly, the coveted Triumph Games trophy.
You're gonna see him come by here in a minute. He's carrying some great speed this whole time. He's had to feel that car, that sensitivity, with one hand. That's incredibly difficult, which is what makes this so special.
Yeah! Triumph Games, baby! That's how it's done!
Last up, and the one to beat, Jen Lee.
3, 2, 1.
With a fast time, he could end up in the top 3 and take home some serious prize money.
Jen Lee has always been an achiever. This Army veteran grew up playing sports. He served as an Army Black Hawk helicopter mechanic until he was injured.
When I lost my leg, the first question I asked was I able to continue to serve my country? And will I ever be able to run again or even to walk again?
Jen's positive outlook and competitive spirit eventually got him back in action. But this time, he took to the ice.
I play so I don't have to think about injuries, I don't have to think about the pain. Sled hockey was just a therapeutic sport. And for me to compete in Sochi, Russia and represent my country, that is such a big honor. My mom always says, son, if you try your best, you can succeed. That was just my motto, and hopefully that one day she'll be proud of me of what I've accomplished or tried to accomplish.
That's all you get at the NASCAR? Yeah. My leg is stuck. My leg is stuck. Not the camera. Not the camera.
The times have been tallied and the results are in. Jeff Hopkins leaves his punishing triathlon score in the dust, winning the motorsports round.
Mr. Jeff Hopkins, 3 minutes, 14 seconds, .36.
It's been an amazing experience being one of the T12. You know, I've built a lot of great bonds with a lot of great athletes, a lot of great wounded, ill, and injured veterans. Being part of the 2015 Triumph Games, it's been life-changing.
And with that, the Triumph Games have come to a close. We've added up the points, and next, we'll reveal the 2nd and 3rd place winners, each taking home $25,000.
And we'll announce the winner, who takes home the grand prize of $100,000
when we return to the Triumph Games. Welcome back to the finale of the inaugural Triumph Games. Our athletes are about to find out who will take home the trophy and the $100,000 grand prize.
These athletes have come a long way, challenging themselves physically, mentally, and with great courage. They're showing the world what military veterans are made of.
Thanks for joining us, and now we will go to the closing ceremony with Triumph Games head coach, Chris Diaz.
Athletes, I couldn't be prouder during these last few months to be your guys' coach. Remember, these results don't make you the winners that you already are.
In order from 12th to 5th place, Elizabeth Wassel, Sean Johnson, Aaron Stewart, Melissa Caduti, Jeff Hopkins, Rico Roman, Michael Kocher, and Ben Harrow. Now, back to Chris for the final 4.
4th place, Jen Lee. 3rd place, and winner of $25,000, John Lujan. Our second place winner, who will also take home $25,000, is Omar Bermejo.
And it's Redmond Ramos taking home the grand prize.
Congratulations for being the 2015 and inaugural Triumph Games winner.
I'm still in shock. This is just an amazing feeling. The fact that everybody worked together here, everybody helped each other out. People that were competing against me took time out of their training schedules and helped me. It's just a type of camaraderie that I don't think many people understand, and it's something that we got because we're all military members and we're all athletes and we all are injured. I want to show people that my struggle is what led me to my success. It was just a great experience, a great time.